Yeah, man. So we were trying to check you out, man. My wife and I, we were trying to, you know, check out some of the show, and it was one thing after another. We sat there and had to put a new light fixture in our restroom, and then the printer started messing up. We was having to print some stuff out. My son came over and asked if we could make some copies for him for some tax papers, and we were trying to do that, and we were trying to listen to your show at the same time with you and Dave, and next thing you know, the show was over with. And I said, well, I didn't really get a chance to check much of that out, man. We were busy, we were tied up. So
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what was going on.
yeah, man, yeah. I was just like, oh, one thing after another, boy. It's just been a busy day. Just been a really
Oh,
busy day, but
oh, you tell me about
but
it, man. I've been busy. I've had a crazy, insane day here, and just nonstop. And it's beautiful here, by the way. I don't know what
oh,
it's like where you are. Here, it's the perfect beach weather you can imagine.
oh, that's
We'll
nice.
we'll probably be at the beach tomorrow with Howie.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice, man.
but all day long. Hey, Richard Smith. Hey, Michael Smith. Are you guys related? It's like Duran Duran. Everybody's named Taylor.
Yeah.
Everybody's named Smith that watches these shows. um. Oh yeah, Nesdo all day long. He's just been hounding me about this guitar and about there being no neck pickup in there. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh, it's
Okay.
nonstop. Every 5 minutes, he'll send me a text. Johnny, did you put that in yet? And now I'm posting. Just I'm posting. I posted a photo on Facebook of myself. Or I don't know what I put. I just did like 2 updates, whatever it was. And he's like, you put the neck pickup in yet? I think it's more of a running joke now because somebody else said the same thing. But yeah, there will be a neck pickup in there at some point. But as of right now, I mean, I do have a neck pickup, but it's a set.
Right.
A friend of mine gave me a set of those pickups, and I don't want to break up the set. Those
Right.
pickups will probably go in the other guitar. I've got another Wolfgang, a Floyd Rose Wolfgang,
Hmm.
that will be built at some point, and will be a really great guitar, also. So
That is a beautiful guitar, by the way, Johnny. That is gorgeous.
thanks. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's not my. I'm saying, oh, thank you. As I have nothing to do with. I have nothing to do with the way it looks. I mean, that's how it is. But yeah, it's a great guitar. I was playing it yesterday. Filmed a video with it. You know, I've been doing the. I've been doing the. My phone is plugged in, charging. I've been doing the live, Facebook thing from the mobile lately.
You mean the YouTube live stream?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
one. Yeah. The YouTube one. That's yeah, because you got it, and then the next day I was able to get it, and
Yeah, I saw you
it's
jamming on the guitar, man. It sounded really good. I told you, man. I told you it was gonna sound good.
yeah. Well, it sounds the best if it's the outer camera, not the
Oh,
selfie
okay.
camera. You want it facing the other way. So what did was I had it on that little stand that somebody sent me. Who was it?
Mm.
Somebody sent me this.
That was Michael Smith that sent you that little
What
tripod
was it? Was
stand.
it? Was it?
Yeah.
Look at this. That's the way
Yeah.
I had it, and then and then I had the thing, on it, and then it was facing this way, so I couldn't see the screen, but I had the video playing on here, so I was able to see myself on here, basically, kind of like on here, because I'm watching the video over here, and I can see like a slight delay of what's going on,
Exactly.
but
Right.
if you want to this was my conclusion. Okay, if you want to jam out on the guitar live on Facebook from your phone, have it from the outer camera, and the sound is better. It's better sound. There we go.
Cool
Are we
deal,
are we
man.
live? Are we actually on? Are
We
people
are
are
actually we are
are people
actually
are
on.
people looking at us? Rick Smith, Michael. Oh, the Smiths are all in here. We got the Smith audience. Michael Smith, Rick Smith. We're just waiting
Yeah.
for Aerosmith to jump in.
Yeah, there you go. Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, all here. Come on in.
Yeah, come on.
That is awesome, man. So it sounds like from your uh, live YouTube videos that you did, Johnny, it sounds like, the guitar sounds a lot better now as far as the pickup and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess I told you. Yeah, most people don't know. Yeah, that pickup was wired into the guitar, and it wasn't correct, and it sounded terrible. Sounded terrible. It basically sounded like an out of phase single coil.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you can even imagine that. And yeah, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. But it was just I couldn't use it. So I basically had to just sit on it basically for a week until I could get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it sounds amazing. It's wired. It's correct now. It's right. So it sounds great.
It does. It does. It sounds fantastic, man.
Like if you heard the video yesterday, you wouldn't believe what it sounded like in this room. Blasting through that amp. Where is it? Oh, it's not even there. It's over there. The 5050. Yeah. I told you guys. Well, you don't know this because you didn't see the video earlier. I was telling people, this is a living room area here. So everything that sits here, if you see it in the video, it's gone later on. The stuff, that's
right.
that's the actual door. It's not like, it's like you sitting there. That's like your little man cave or whatever. So everything there is always there. Right.
Yeah.
For me, this background is always changing. It's never the same. Like that guitar sitting there, I put it there for show. Usually it sits right here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome everybody.
Yes, welcome everybody. Let's see
here. The
Smiths.
The Smiths. Do you like the Smiths?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good group, man.
Rick,
I like that, John.
Michael, you guys should form a band called the Smiths. The Smiths.
Be careful of the copyright stuff there. I don't think they should take that name. They should maybe change it a little bit. Michael Smith says, Joe, I told Johnny that we were sending him something from us. Oh, okay. See, I wasn't going to say nothing, so.
Well,
Michael
I don't
Smith's
know what I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. So.
Michael Smith says Johnny's house is a man cave. Is his man cave. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, if I open that door, you'll actually see like actual creatures from the cave out there. Yeah. I'm not joking. I've got, we talk about the wildlife all the time. The wildlife is actually outside that door. I'll open that door. Goodness. You'll see a skunk walk by. You'll see a raccoon walk by. You'll see deers. You'll see.
Let me tell you something.
Coyotes.
Let me tell you this.
Everything.
Speaking of wildlife, my friend, let me tell you this. We stepped outside a few minutes ago and stepped outside for a few minutes. And right when I opened the door, I saw, I told you we have some cats outside. Stepped out there and I looked and I said, man, that's a big cat. And I looked again, I said, whoa. And it was this huge possum that was up on the porch, and he just walked off into the grass. He's up there eating the cat's food is what he's doing. And I went inside, waited about 10 minutes, went back out with I got a little BB gun I got, and for animals like that, went outside and he ran off the porch, scattering. I said, pow! I stung him right there. He said, whoo! And my wife said, go in there and get your, get the real thing and do it. And I said, no, I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to scare the horses next door, Oh, Lord. I think it would not be too good. Yeah, the neighbors. Yeah. And then like, what was that noise?
Yeah, we hear that. We actually hear gunshots all the time.
Well, it happens here out here because we're out here in the country and we're not in the city limit. So we hear them all the time, shotguns going off, just, boom, 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 boom. And like, well, somebody's out there hunting or, having a field day, one or the other. I don't know.
Yeah. Same thing out here. Same thing.
Yeah, that's the way it is out here too, man. It's just constant, it's like, my goodness. And then, it's probably the same way with you at 4th of July, like it is here. Everybody, they don't shoot fireworks. They fire off their firearms out here. Like, like
Well,
crazy, you know.
actually, no, no, it's not like that here. But we do see the fireworks though.
Hmm.
We kind of see like, hey Howie, we kind of see the town next door is Capitola, and they have like fireworks shows. Like you guys, a lot of you guys, you guys see that movie, the vampire Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, that's the old '80s movie, Lost Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah.
a lot of that was filmed here. Was filmed at this place
But
called Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
oh, cool.
So yeah, so if you remember in the beginning of the movie or whatever, there's like a video game arcade
Hmm. Hmm.
that's still there. That place is still there.
Wow.
Um, yeah. Hey Howie. Hey Jaden James.
Hey,
Hey
Jade.
man.
Yeah, Jaden James, what's up, man?
Hey
Thanks for
dude.
jumping on. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the arcade is
Um,
still there, you said?
yeah. Michael Smith says he loves the movie. Yeah, it was filmed literally just right down the street. I mean, as far as that whole beach boardwalk scene, like if you see the
Hmm.
beginning of the movie, it shows you they like pan in. I think I'm just thinking, and it shows like roller coasters and stuff. That's Santa
Right.
Cruz
Yeah.
Beach Boardwalk. That's basically
Okay.
like an amusement park right on the beach, almost like the beginning
Okay.
of what was it, Step by Step? Kind of,
Hmm.
remember that? Um,
Yes.
it's kind of like that. Um, but anyway, that's Capitola is right next to that. And anyway, right there at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and in Capitola, they shoot off fireworks. And so I see like the lights. I don't see the fireworks, but I get like the flashes
Right.
of
Right.
like what they are, and I can kind of hear them. Long
Okay.
story short.
Yeah, man. There's so many people that do that out here. We don't have to go anywhere. We can just sit right here and. But the thing with our animals, here when they hear that stuff outside, man, it really freaks them out. They get pretty shook up, because those loud, bangs and pops with fireworks and guns and everything else. They don't like that. It kind of freaks them out.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we have to, tell them it's okay,
Hmm.
all that cool stuff. But just part of nature, living out in the country as we should, as we do.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the country sort of, but I'm just right down the street from like actual
Right.
civilization. And so it's not like I'm really in the country. Hey, he's moving my mouse. Hey, man.
So do you see a
Hey.
lot of movies being filmed out where you're at, Johnny, from time to time?
Uh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Time to time, yeah. I mean, it's not like L.A. where it's all the time, but San Francisco, Oakland, uh, yeah, yeah. You see the stuff, you hear about it.
Cool. Cool
Hmm.
deal. Well, I got a couple of pieces of apparel I like to show on here, if that's all right with you. If you say it's okay, then I'll show it. If you say no, then I won't.
Are you gonna stand up?
I have to reach the merchandise. I have to,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah.
it's
Hey.
I can just kind of slowly slide over here like this, see, and I won't have to stand up. I'm just kind of like that, and kind of go like this right there, and I'll just slide on back over here. Hello. So, okay, so Johnny is talking about maybe doing some T-shirts um, for his show and stuff like that, and he was kind enough to send me his logo, and I just wanted to give it a shot and go through the company that I go through with my stuff. And the reason I did it is just to show him what it could look like if he chooses to do so. It's totally up to him. And so here's the first one. It's the yellow one, and it's his logo, johnnybean.com. And when you see that logo, that's Johnny. Everybody knows that. And then the back is keep rocking, everybody. Johnny's one of his favorite
Do I
things he
sound like
likes to say.
do I sound like that?
You
Is
don't
that
sound
really
like me, 'cause I sound like a dork when I say it. You sound cool.
is that what I
So
actually look like?
yeah, man, it looks cool. Look at that. Here's a red version. Look at
The
that.
guy that
And
the
then
guy
on the
that did
back,
that,
it's a little.
I don't know what photo he used that from. I'm not sure, but yeah, you can definitely tell
Yeah.
that is weird.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can tell It's you, but the logo looks fantastic on them shirts, man. It comes across really nice, you know. So these came in the mail today. I got Johnny in stereo. Look at that. And so
Look,
um
I just had the no. I just had
so yeah,
dinner.
those oh okay, my bad. And
Like someone said
those came
earlier,
to,
those aren't pillows.
yeah, those came today in the mail, and I didn't expect those to come till sometime next week. Um, I ordered those when we were in the mountains over the weekend, last weekend, because we went up to the mountains went up there Friday, spent the night, came back Saturday. So I put the order in um, Saturday morning. Of course, nobody's at the facility until Monday. So technically, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 3 or 4 days, and it was here. So it's pretty fast.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
fast. Um, uh, Thank you, Michael Smith. Yeah, it all, like I said, it's if Johnny chooses that, hey, Vigilant, how you doing, man? If he wants to do that, man,
Hey,
that's
dude,
that's up to him. But that's what it can look like. So
that's cool.
I did it just as a an experiment, I guess,
A
So
prank.
no, I thought it was a cool logo, and I'm here to say right now, I have nothing to do with the logo. I don't own any of that. Johnny was kind enough to send
Yeah.
that to me to let me try it. So that's all Johnny, not me.
I don't
So
own it
it's
either. So
well, you can once you get
hopefully nobody
everything
sees this.
registered. No, my goodness. Once you get everything registered, man, you can have own the rights to that because I mean it is you. I mean it's nobody else. So
Well, it's funny. I mean,
so yeah, there you go.
you said you haven't seen what the show I did earlier, but yeah, I was talking about the doppelganger thing, and how I saw somebody that looked just like me today, and I was asking
Oh, really?
Nesdal. Yeah, I was asking. It's a small world, man. I was asking Nesdal, does he get embarrassed when he sees like his doppelganger? When he sees somebody, like let's say Nesdal, is at Kmart, and he sees a guy, walk past him that looks just like him. Would he actually say
Mm.
something and say, "Hey, you look like me," or like what I was telling him? Usually, if I see someone and we look the same, usually I'm embarrassed, so I'll like turn and walk the other direction.
Oh, okay.
You know,
They say that everybody has a twin
as
somehow or
a
another.
triplet.
Yeah, or yeah, in some cases, I guess so.
Everybody has an octuplet out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've i- in my earlier photos when I was a lot younger, like you know, 16, 17, cause at that time, well, let's see, Karate Kid came out in what, 84. So yeah, when
Hmm.
that came out, I was 14, but when I was about 16, 15, I kind of favored Ralph Macchio the way he looked back then, just a little bit, because I remember when I went and got my license when I turned 16, and the picture, and sometimes people see your license or whatever, and I got that a lot. I said, man, you look like Ralph Macchio. I was like, huh? And I think it was just the way I was in that picture. Um, so it's just kind of weird, man. And I've had some people say, as I got older, man, I saw a guy that looked just like you, and we was in such and such, and I was like, "Oh, really? I feel sorry for that guy, So
And it was
you know,
Rolf Macchio. Rolf. What's his name?
Ralph
Ralph?
Ralph Macchio, yeah,
Ralph Macchio.
yeah, man. And he sounds nothing like. I mean, of course, I know things change when you get older and all that, and I pulled up a thing on YouTube. I think it was last year, and it shows he has a good sense of humor. But it was this thing called I can't say the expletive on here, but the name of it was like a short film, and it was called "Wax On, F Off." Is what it said. And
Oh, that I thought you were gonna say something else.
no, no, and and, and he said and it's supposed to be like a what do you call it, like a
comedy.
A thing for a movie, like a preview is what it's supposed to be, like a preview for an upcoming movie, and a trailer. Thank you. It's like a trailer, and he's like, it's like this guy is supposed to be his agent, and he goes, I can't do nothing with Ralph Macchio. He's too nice of a guy because he can't. He said, and they're saying he can't get no parts because he's just too nice of a guy and all this stuff. And it shows him out in the garage trying to drink some vodka and drugs, and now he can't do it, and all that stuff. And he goes out on the street and he tries to get with where somebody's soliciting something on the street corner. He's like, hey, come on, baby, like that. And the woman says, honey, come back in a couple of years when you're 18. He says, I'm 53 for Christ's sake. Because he's still got that baby face, It's funny, man. If you don't know what I'm talking about, get on YouTube and type that in and it'll come up. It's funny.
He's trying to buy some peaches.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They sell them on the street out here.
Yeah.
Every corner.
Oh my goodness. Golly.
He still looks 12.
He still looks the same, but when I watched an interview with him on he did an interview that what is oh my gosh.
Extra.
No, it wasn't extra. It's something that's like on PBS or something. It's some place in New York. I can't remember the name of it right offhand. And they did an interview with him on in an auditorium where he was on stage with a microphone and the guy was interviewing him. There was a live audience there and they was asking him questions about how he got the part.
The actor's
Karate Kid.
Inside the actor's studio.
Something like that. Yeah, it's something like that. And you're talking about that guy with the glasses and the beard. I know who you're talking about. But this was another show.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, there you go.
Was he on my show?
Yeah, I think he was.
He plays guitar, doesn't he? Or no, you guys said he was faking that. Everybody says he was faking all that.
There's one part in Crossroads where he actually plays. The one part in the movie where he actually plays that guitar is in the pawn shop. And when they go into the pawn shop and he's with Willie Brown, they go in there and he says, we got to get you a guitar. You've been playing on that old acoustic the whole time. And he says, Muddy Waters invented electricity. He says that to Ralph Macchio, and they see that Telecaster and he gets that pig nose amp. And he says, let me see that watch you're wearing. He gives him the watch and he says, we'll cut off some of this pipe and make you a slide and all that stuff. And while they're talking, doing business, Willie Brown and the man that owns the pawn shop, Ralph Macchio, sets the pig nose over here and he sits down, he puts that hat on, plugs it in, and he goes, hey, Willie, look at this, man. I'm a walking concert, and he plays like this one little blues lick and that's it, but that's the one part he did play. And you can tell he's playing through that pig nose. You can just hear it and tell that's authentic. But yeah, Ry Cooder did all his other parts, in that movie. And cool. the thing I didn't know until a lot later is when they had the guitar duel. Yes, Ry Cooder did all his parts up until, the classical part on the at the end that Ralph Macchio did. That was Steve Vai had actually done that. So he done that part.
Oh, really?
So,
he did both parts.
He did, yeah.
Isn't he playing against Steve Vai?
Yeah, he is. But when they recorded the audio stuff for the movie, Steve Vai did that part. The clean part that Ralph Macchio's faking. On the head cutting duel scene. The audio, that's really Steve Vai. I've read that in the magazine. Yeah.
All those Steve Vai overdubs, man. That's what I couldn't believe when I was a kid doing the paper route. I remember having, Skyscraper in the CD Walkman or whatever, and hearing the guitar solos from all those songs and hearing two different guitars at once and not knowing about overdubs and not understanding and thinking that was all Vai doing all that stuff at once and thinking, man, this guy's amazing.
Oh God!
Which I guess he still is, but
oh yes,
to do all that stuff I thought he was actually doing, if he could do that, then
he's fantastic, man. He's fantastic, and the thing I like about Steve Vai, man, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and there's this one audiobook I got. It's called Power Chord, and usually all my audiobooks have something to do with guitar or maybe certain bands that I like to find out more about or something like that. And there's a book called Power Chord, and it's about This guy, his job, I think he's like an IT guy, kind of like what Adam Scheinberg is or something like that, I believe. And he liked the music that, like people like my age or whatever. He liked, like George Lynch, Warren DeMartini. He liked Steve Vai, all that stuff from that era. And the whole point of the book is it's his journey where he decides to try to track some of these guitar players down that their heyday was in, the 80s, mid to late 80s, maybe early 90s. He wants to track some of these guys down and do like an interview and say, what advice can you give a person like me who was just starting on guitar? What piece of advice would you give me? And I thought to myself, now, how is this guy going to find these people? That's the first thing I thought about. I said, there's no way that, but he kind of leaves that part out a little bit. The only part that he lets you in on is he has a buddy who's in the business, the entertainment business, and I think he got the connections through his friend to be able to get a hold of these, these people. So now check this out, and this is in the book. He interviews, now this is in no particular order because I can't remember the order, but he interviews Phil Collen, Def Leppard. He talked to George Lynch. He talked to Tommy Thayer. He did a phone interview with Ace Frehley. Let's see. Oh, because he says his first concert he went to when he was about, I don't know, 12, he asked his dad to take him to the Kiss show. And he went. But he didn't realize at the time, this kind of shows you what time period this was in. The person playing guitar for Kiss at the time was Vinnie Vincent. Because he said there was a guy that came out playing a pointy guitar. Of course, that's the Flying V that Vinnie Vincent played all the time, And
So that would have been early 80s.
Right. And so, see, the book starts off where, and I just couldn't. He had. You remember the Warren DeMartini model, Johnny? I think it was the Charvel had the like the crosses on it, and
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And like the Japanese writing and stuff. And he had that, like that was the, when they came out years ago, he's got that. He's got like the Kamikaze George Lynch ESP. I think that's what it was. He's got 2 or 3 real nice guitars. And, but he was the kind of guy, he had like maybe 10 or 12 guitars or something like that, but he really never played much because he didn't really take lessons much. He liked to buy the guitars, but he didn't really know what to do, how to play them. And that blew my mind. I was like, number one, this guy's making some really good money on his job because he's able to buy these guitars. And I said, it's a shame that he's buying those and they're just sitting there. I was just like, man, I just couldn't. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway, so he goes, and the book starts off where he's at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp because the fella that was on y'all show, what's his name, Peter, he just went to that like a month ago or something. And you go and you do that with the people, and then you play like at the whiskey or whatever on the final night or something. You have like the competition. Well, when this guy was there doing it, he says in the book that he talks about how nervous he was, and they're getting ready to go on stage. And he's not, at that point in time, he wasn't real coordinated enough to do chord changes real fluently, real smooth, like from G to D, C, whatever it was. He would struggle, which we all did that when we first started. So he gets on stage and, everybody's like, okay, you ready? And he's like, yeah. So they start playing, and what he does is he cuts his volume down on his guitar, and he's just faking it. So he's, there's no sound come out of his amp because he's got his volume turned down. He said he did that on purpose because he didn't want to mess everything up for everybody else on the competition part, that night. And I was like, my goodness. But the reason why he paid all that money to go was because one of the people that, you have like a couple of heavy hitters that are there, and you're like on that team, like, sometimes Sammy Hagar goes and, whatever. And sometimes you have all these different artists that'll go. That's why he went, because that one particular weekend, Ace Frehley was going to be there, and he wanted to meet Ace Frehley. which we all know who Ace is. Look at there, Johnny. See there? Look at there. I bet you didn't
Oh,
know I
wow.
had that. Did you? Look at that. You can't tell me I ain't rock and roll. Shit. Anyway, so and so he wanted to meet Ace, and he said that when he was in the room, and when you know, they have everybody in there, and then when Ace walked in, Ace picked up a Les Paul and was talking about, what song do y'all want to, you know, play, and Ace didn't have a guitar pick, and the guy that wrote the book, he said he got his guitar pick out of his pocket and gave it to Ace Frehley, and Ace was like, hey, thanks, you know, and he said, I couldn't believe Ace Frehley was right there in front of me, and I got to look at my first guitar hero right there in front of me, you know, after all these years later.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't, you know, he had a good experience. So he goes and he starts talking to these different people. The first one, I remember the first one he went to do the interview, and it was Great White. And they were playing, there's no sense in buying the books, I'm telling you the book now. But there was a the venue they were playing at, which you know, I thought was kind of wild, was the same venue that, you know, Dimebag Darrell, you know, that happened with Dimebag. That was that same venue. So they're sitting there playing, and he goes to the show, and he has like a little notepad and all this stuff. He's trying to look like he's with the press, is what he says in the book. He's trying to look like, because he wants to get an interview with I can't remember the guitar player's name for Great White. I can't remember. He's wanting to get a quick interview with him, and he walks into the place, and they're like, hey, can I help you, whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'm with the press. I was wanting to, you know, see if I can get an interview with the guitar player, whatever his name is. And the guy's like, he says, are you on the list? That's what he says. Are you on the list? He goes, well, I should be. He goes, my boss sent me up here for this interview. You know how they do sometimes? They give you the information, sometimes they don't, you know, blah, 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 blah. So he watches the show, and what he can't, another thing he talks about in this book, what I thought was really cool, he said, it's really wild how growing up in the early mid 80s, you know, the hairband era and all that stuff, and watching those extravagant videos, how they were, and you would see all these musicians getting in these nice buses, have nice cars, nice mansions, and he said, I thought they were still living like that.
That was the 80s,
You
and
know,
plus that was a video.
right?
The 80s and videos are not real life.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Michael Smith and Rick Smith. Thank you.
Oh, the
And
tattoo.
so, yeah.
I was gonna say something, man. I was gonna say, do you think there's a Van Halen fan out there that has like you got that tattoo? Do you think somebody out there has like a Roth face on one side and a Hagar face on the other?
Oh wow, that would be wild, wouldn't it? That would be wild. But
Is there
that
anybody
would
out
be
there?
cool. Is there anybody? So he said when he went to the show where Great White was playing, and he said when they got done with the gig, you know, they were loading their own equipment, and he was like, where's all the roadies, and where's, you know, and I was like, dude, that time is no longer here. That's not, that kind of music isn't as prevalent as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
when you play a club, though, if you're playing a club, like you said, it's a club, right?
yes,
You're playing a club
yeah.
like that. You're yeah, as far as like tons of roadies and stuff, I mean, you might each have like a helper, and that's
Right.
it, you know.
Right.
I've played those clubs. I know what it's like, you know. I mean,
Oh,
if
okay.
it's only when you play the bigger, you know, the arenas. That's when you actually have
Oh,
a
okay.
whole crew of people and all that.
Yeah, because he says in that,
Not when you play clubs.
right. He says in the book that they was all loading up their own stuff and everything, and he said there was a line of people waiting, you know, I guess for like, excuse me, for like photo ops, or, you know, getting the pictures taken with him, whatever. And he said I was at the very back of the line, and he said I did that on purpose. And he said it was finally my turn, and then he went up to the guitar player and he introduced himself, and he said, my name's so and so, whatever. And right when he's just started talking to him, the whoever with the band said, all right, let's roll, we got to go. And so he literally only had maybe a minute and a half with the guy, and he said, what kind of a piece of advice could you give me for, you know, beginning guitar or whatever, and he told him whatever that, he's like, don't. I think his advice was, don't rush, take your time, walk before you learn how to run, or crawl before you learn how to walk, something to. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something to that effect. And so it's really cool, man. And he would he went back home, and then a couple weeks later he'd go, and he went to that, what's that big festival in the summertime, Rocklahoma. I think that's what it is, Rocklahoma. He went to that because he said there was a lot of bands at Rocklahoma that he remembered when he was a teenager that he really liked, like, Winger, Poison, Rat,
Slaughter, yeah,
Tesla, yeah, Slaughter.
yeah.
He talked about that and stuff
they
like
all
that.
they all play those. Yeah, they all play. Like you can go to one of those and see all those bands in like one day or 2 days or whatever.
Yeah. He said it was like a 2-day event, and he talked about how hot it was. That's all he said. I couldn't believe the sweltering heat. And he said, I was able to get into a tent. There was supposed to be a VIP tent. And he said, but there wasn't nothing VIP about it. It was just a tent, and they had like some big fans sitting up blowing. And he said he got to talk to Kip Winger for a few minutes. And he said he saw Kip Winger. He says, man, Kip Winger was nothing like I remember back in those days. I was like, well, nobody is, man. Everybody gets older, and you change.
Well,
but
yeah, because he's not 30 years old singing about a 17-year-old anymore.
Right.
Now he's 60 singing about a 17-year-old.
Right. But it's he of course the book goes, he's doing stuff like that, and then he as the book progresses and it gets toward the end of the book, he talks about how he went to see Def Leppard when he was young, and he always wanted like a backstage pass, and he didn't have one. He didn't know how to get one. So he had like a laminate, like a lanyard with laminate, but it was when he went to like soccer camp or something. It was something. So he just took it and kind of flipped it around. So he thought nobody would pay attention. Now this is when he was young. Okay. But it's funny how things come back full circle. So when he was young, he goes to the Def Leppard show, and he has like this laminate. It has nothing to do with a backstage pass, but he turns it around so you can't see the picture. And he says somehow or another, he says, how how they have the front row and they have those black curtains draped on the front. And he said he got underneath one of those, and he walked, he looked around, he didn't see nobody. He gets up to the stage, he says, and he looks up, and there's Phil Collins, standing there with those ripped jeans, playing the mirror crackled Jackson, doing that. And he's looking at him, and right when he looks at him, he feels two big hands on his shoulders, and he looks, and it's two big beefy security guards, and they took him. And he said, man, I was scared. He goes, I thought they were going to take me in the back and beat me up, or something like that. And he goes, but nothing like that happened. He said, they took me out the back door and said, leave. And he had to leave. That's when he was a teenager. Then when he got older, he somehow was able to get this interview with Phil Collins, and he said, I couldn't believe I'm actually talking to Phil Collins now without having to try to sneak with a fake backstage. He got there while they were warming up, before the show. Now, of course, Def Leppard, they were playing a big venue. It wasn't like Rocklahoma or something. Def Leppard still draws a pretty good crowd even today, And so he did an interview with him and talked to him for a while. And it's a really good book, man. It's called Power Chord is the name of the book. It's really good, really awesome book. Awesome book. Of course, I have the audio version, and I tried looking for that dude on Facebook, and I found him. Sent him a friend's request. It was last year sometime. Of course, he didn't respond. He probably, but it's really, really interesting book. I was like, man, that is wild how he talked to all those guitar players and stuff, And I was like, man,
it's really not that hard.
Probably not now.
I mean,
probably not now, but I mean, I think back then it would be tough, but now it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Michael Smith has a question. Go ahead, Johnny.
Back in the 80s. Yeah, back in the 80s, MTV, the whole thing, it made the rock stars or whatever you call it. It made everybody super larger than life.
Right.
Back then, right. And you realize everybody's the same. Right. It's all about image. That's all it is. It's all It's all about image and whatever,
Right. Michael Smith, I'll get to your question in just 1 second. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you real quick the latest book that I just got finished with, and it was interesting, but in a way I wasn't surprised. I was kind of like, yeah, that kind of figures. That doesn't surprise me. But do you remember the Warrant videos, like Cherry Pie and all that stuff? You remember the blonde-headed woman that's on the skates, skating on the video and all that stuff? Well, her name was Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And she put a book out.
Videos, yeah.
She put a book out, and it talks about, I think it's called Dirty Rocker Boys is what the name of it was. And she just talks about her experience being with a bunch of musicians from that era. Because her and Janie Lane were actually married for a while, and they had a daughter together. And, of course, Janie Lane, he took his own life, some years back. But she finally got straightened out. But it was, man, and she narrates that book too. And I was like, my goodness gracious, I was kind of like, lady, what do you expect when you try to get involved in that lifestyle? What do you think is going to happen? I think she was fooled by all that glamorous stuff. But, that's just my opinion. I don't know. But it was a good book.
She was a part of all of it too, because she was in the videos.
Yeah, she was in that, but it was just, I was kind of like, wow, man. I was like, and she was actually with, believe it or not, man, for like a one-night stand, she was with Leonardo DiCaprio. That was before his Titanic fame. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, man. I was like, oh, okay.
So he was 17.
Yeah.
When he was 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was that young, but man, funny. Michael Smith says, question for the both of you. What was the best live show you have ever seen? Johnny, I'll let you go first.
The best live show. If I tell you the truth, you guys, is too embarrassing.
No, man, no judgments here. It's
well, I don't want to say. Well, what do you mean by best live show? You mean having the best time at a show, or just like as far as the show itself? If you were just blown away by the show,
I think that's what he's referring to. Yeah, just the show itself. Yeah,
because I've been to shows where I was like right in the front, literally right underneath the musicians, whoever it was, and like you're grabbing their feet, you're touching their hands, all that. I've done that. But I would say the last Van Halen show in actually no, I saw them twice. Not the last one, the one before, the one when they played Concord, California on the last tour. I was like 10 rows back, and I'd never been that close to the stage before at a Van Halen show, and to see Edward that close up playing the guitar. And
right.
I spent the whole time just saying, OMG. Oh, I couldn't believe it. To actually see with my own eyes him that close up doing his thing and making it look like it's no big deal.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
That was yeah. I've been to a lot of shows, but that was very, very cool.
That is cool. Jaden James says his best live show was Bob Marley, 2 nights in a row, 6 months before he passed away. Wow.
Man.
How about that? Best live show for me. Let's see, man. I'm not trying to show no favoritism here, but I'm going to have to go with my boys up here. I'm going to have to go with the Balance Tour. For me, that was just awesome, man. That was phenomenal. Then when, Eddie's wearing the work shirt with the sleeves cut out, which I have one right there, and playing the Ernie Ball Music Man, and he's got the headband on, and they come out, and they're playing Big Fat Money and all that, and it's just, man, that was the best show I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I was I was going crazy at that show, man. And we had pretty good seats too, man. I was just, oh man. I think when I left that place, number one, I was probably about deaf because it was so loud in there, and then I was probably hoarse for about a day and a half from hollering so much because it was just, I was like, this is my band. This is my guitar hero right there, man. You know, he's right there, and it just blew me away. It was a fantastic show, you know. And you're sitting there and you're watching Eddie, you know, when he's getting ready to do a solo spot, and you're like, you feel like, I don't know, this is going to sound weird, but you feel like you know more than everybody else there. When in reality, which I really don't, it's just because I watched Live Without a Net so many times, his solo spot, and what he would do, and then he'd do his little thing. He would go into Cathedral, and he'd go into the Mean Street tapping thing. You're like sitting there going, okay, I know what he's going to do next, you know. And you're looking around like, you looking at this guy. I bet you know he's going to do that, did you? You know, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why, but
I collected a lot of the bootleg cassettes back then, which I still have. I have them in the garage. This kid used to mail me Van Halen bootlegs, like cassette tapes. Actually, a 10-year-old. This 10-year-old used to mail me tapes. Van Halen, like every bootleg you could think of, from every tour, every year. He was a huge fan. We're still friends now. I think he's actually a drummer now, and he's actually touring in some bands and stuff. And I don't think he listens to Van Halen anymore, but apparently he was a huge Van Halen fan when he was a kid. So he used to mail me these bootlegs. But yeah, I know what you're saying though, man, because I grew up on Live Without a Net, and I used to hear. I used to get the boots like before. I mean, this is before before I was on the internet. But I would go to the shows and I would know what was going on because I'd hear the bootlegs, you know.
Yeah,
if I saw them later in the tour, right? So I know what you're saying about, you know, exactly what they're going to do. But what's the most exciting about those shows is when they do something different.
Yes.
When they bust out a song that you had to hear them play, or during Edward's solo, his middle section, when he plays a riff or something out of context of everything else that he always plays.
Right.
And it makes you be like, whoa, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know. And how many times did you see them on that tour, Balance?
Just the once when they came to Charlotte. This was, what was that, Johnny? What was that?
95.
94, 95. Yeah.
It would have been 95, maybe early 96, maybe. I saw them twice on the Balance tour. I saw them in San Jose, California. Wait, what show did I see first? Was it San Jose or was it Oakland? I saw them in Oakland, you know, where they filmed, you know, the Unchained video, the video everybody knows, the live
Oakland.
Unchained.
Oakland, yeah.
Oakland, yeah. I've seen Van Halen there many times in that actual Coliseum,
that venue,
arena, yeah. I saw them in Oakland and I saw them in San Jose. When I saw them in what show would have been first? I guess I'd have to look at it. I'm sure it's on Wikipedia. I'm sure if you look up the Balance tour, you'll see the dates of each thing. But when I saw them in Oakland, I guess they were still down south, and Edward, he was boarding a plane at the Burbank airport to come up to Oakland, and he had forgot that he had a loaded gun in his bag.
Oh, I heard about this.
So what happens was he gets detained. And so this is before the internet, right? So my dad and we get to the venue, and there's a sign that says "show canceled, illness." You know, if somebody's sick, and that's what the official, or that's what they were telling people. But the truth was, Edward couldn't make it up here because he was detained for having that gun in his bag, and it was in the newspapers. Like later on, I still have the clipping. You know, I remember seeing it. But so that was the Oakland show, and they ended up making that show up. I mean, they ended up, you know, redoing it.
Right.
And whatever the original band was that was supposed to open for them, of course, it wasn't the same because they just made up. I forget who opened for them. It was they had two opening acts that night, I think. Well, no, they had Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades.
Okay.
Jack Blades from Night Ranger, Tommy Shaw from
Right.
Styx.
Right.
And at the time, well, some years before, they were in a band called Damn Yankees
Oh, awesome band,
with Ted
man.
Nugent,
Yeah.
if you guys remember that. Yeah,
Absolutely. Uncle
yeah,
Ted.
yeah. But for this Van Halen show, they opened. It was just them on acoustic guitars, and then the drummer, Michael, the guy from Damn Yankees, and they had somebody else. Um, but anyway, they just did acoustic songs, and I even back then I could tell it was just something they just did. It wasn't like meant because they weren't an opening band on that tour. I don't think because the opening band they had that I saw the other time in San Jose was Slash's Snake Pit.
Oh, okay.
It was with Slash, and I can't think of what's the singer's name from that band. I ended up running into him in a hallway in somewhere in the back.
Uh-huh.
And it's a coincidence. We had a mutual friend that I saw earlier in the day, and I told him they were opening up for that show, and this friend of mine, well, his name's Skolnick from this band called Testament. He's like, well, tell so and so I said hi. If you run into him, and it was just a total coincidence I ran into him.
Right. Cool.
I'm thinking I saw them another time. I'm thinking I saw them 3 times. I'm thinking maybe I saw them do a balance show as well at Shoreline Amphitheater, where where at the end of the show, Edward took off the
Headband.
and shoots it out into the audience.
Right.
I'm thinking I saw them 3 times on balance.
I saw him the one time, and it was phenomenal. And Johnny, I have a question for you. You would know. I was thinking about this the other night, and I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. What came first, the Music Man or the PV Wolfgang?
Music Man.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
The Music Man guitar debuted in '92. Well, officially Eddie used them in '91. I think they were available for the public in '92. I got mine in '92, wherever it is. It's in the case, in the bag over there. And then the PVs came out in '96.
Yeah.
He started playing them during the Balance tour. He actually switched slowly from the Music Band to the PV Wolfgang during that tour.
Check this out, Johnny. This is a picture that Michael Smith took when he was at the front row. You can't see it, can you? Oh, come on.
I think he sent me that too.
Trying to show it, Michael Smith, and it ain't. My stuff don't work like Johnny's does. That is an awesome picture, man.
I think he sent that to me too. Oh yeah. Here's a picture I took front row.
Yeah, Johnny, you show it. Your camera's better than mine.
Ah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's Carnal Knowledge. That's 91 or possibly early 92 is when that was.
Okay. Awesome picture.
Here, I'll show it. I'll show it. Yeah, that's back when he was wearing the long T-shirts and the striped shoes, and that's a great picture, man. And the pants with the what do you call it? The patches. Yeah. Oh man, that's a really cool shot, dude.
That is a good shot. Great shot. Man, awesome job, Michael Smith. Great picture. That is phenomenal, man. He says, I have a bunch of them. I'll share them with you guys. Thank you, Michael Smith. Yeah, those are nice shots, man. Very nice.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was totally into. Well, yeah, I was into the band then, but I was into that at the time the same thing. The long shirts.
Yeah.
Because Edward, he was doing that way before everybody else. The long white T-shirts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Michael Smith says that was the best concert ever. Oh man, any of them to me are phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
Carnal Knowledge. I saw them Twice on that tour.
I didn't get to see him then. Man, I missed that one.
I saw him twice.
That's awesome.
And actually, the second time I saw them, the lead singer from the opening band, I was sitting in the grass waiting for them to open the doors to let people in.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead singer from the opening band walks almost right over me. She walks past and like almost like stepped over me. And I'm
Good
like,
gracious.
that was, and I couldn't tell you her name now, but she was I was gonna say the guy. She was married to Nuno Betancourt. She was Baby Animals was the band.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think. I mean, I think they were married, but I remember her like walking right past me, and I knew what she looked like just because, like an MTV clip or something. Because remember, this is before the internet.
Right.
You had to, you'd wait for a magazine to come out or whatever, and for the latest news, and it was great, but the news was like a month or 2 months old.
Right.
Remember back then? Now everything's instant. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
We're instantly right now talking to people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, things have changed a whole lot, and it's
crazy.
I love it. I love technology myself, and I remember those days, man, being in high school and all that. And I mean, I'm telling my age here, but I remember for me, I couldn't wait till the next issue of Guitar for the Practicing Musician or Guitar World or whatever would come out, and the covers would always be so cool, man. You have Satch on the front, Get Lucky might have Eddie on the front. I still remember having that issue. I don't know, I don't have it now, but I still remember having that issue with Eddie on the front with the with that what was it, like a beach shirt or something on. Johnny had that beach shirt, and then he opened it up in the centerfold, and he's like blowing smoke rings with his his guitar on. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm talking about? And that was funny, man. He had like some kind of shirt on from like somebody would wear it, like a tourist would wear it on a beach somewhere with all these palm trees and stuff or something like that. And I was like, only Eddie could wear something like that and still look cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're talking about that. That was a photo shoot for Guitar World, July '88.
There you go.
He's wearing the Hawaiian shirt, and then
Hawaiian shirt.
He's holding the 5150. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on one sec. Howie has to go out.
Okay. Go ahead, man. Yes.
Yeah. Great photo though, man. He just sent another picture of that.
Yes.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, if Johnny wants to, I'll let him show it, Michael, because mine it ain't working for me when I hold something close to this camera, just the way the lights and stuff are in here. It's just, I apologize, man. So yeah.
You have to use the room? Huh? You do? Okay, I got to take him out. Hang on.
Okay. That's awesome, man. But I can try to show you this picture if I can get it. Now, I got these wireless headphones on, so I can still move around and not have to worry about a cord, Let me see if I can find it right here. And I actually got this photo from the Van Halen store as well, which I get a lot of my stuff from the Van Halen store because it's authentic. It's the real deal. And I've showed this before. I need to get it framed. This shot here I got from the VanHalenStore.com, and of course that's the Diver Down tour of Eddie. And I love that shot, man. I love that. I love that shot. Awesome picture, man. Fantastic. And I need to get that framed. I just haven't done it yet. Get it framed. I think I paid for that picture. I want to say I think it was like $30, I believe. I believe it was about $30. But to me, it was worth it. And I just need to get it framed. And I actually have a poster. You can probably still find them on VanHalenStore.com. And I think it's a picture of them, like it says last club show. I guess before they got signed or something. It's really cool. I've had that poster. I've had it for a long time. I want to say I still have it in the tube over there. Yeah. I think I've only took it out of that tube one time when I bought it, and that was a long time ago, man. And I like to get that framed as well and get it, but I just don't have nowhere to put nothing. I don't have this tight quarters, man. That's all there is. Michael Smith, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Rick Smith, that's cool. Joe, thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I love the Diver Down album, but did not like it. Wow. That's one of my favorite albums. I know that's going to sound crazy. I love the Diver Down album because it's just, I don't know, man. I love that album. It sounds, I just like it. I don't know. I know that's crazy, isn't it? I love that album. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
Which one? Sorry, I just got here.
The Diver Down album. I really like that album a lot. I really do.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Here's something I'll show you real quick. Turn camera on.
Yeah, on.
Here's something I got. Right
Schecter
here.
Guitar Research.
I got this from the NAMM show when I was talking to this guy.
Oh man. Man, what was he doing at the? Was he the Schecter booth or something?
He plays Schecter now.
Oh, okay.
That's what he uses. Yeah. Yeah. I've got pictures. I don't. Did you guys ever see the pictures? I've never posted them. Let me. I have a lot of stuff actually from the last NAMM that I've never nobody's seen.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I have so many photos. What day was that? Okay, that was then. Well, speaking of bass players, here's you might recognize this bass player right here.
That's Mona.
Yeah.
With the Wabaritos.
Yeah. Or the Cabo Wabos. What do you call them?
The Wabaritas. Wabaritas, man. Wabaritas.
Yeah, she was talking to Kevin Dugan, Michael's bass tech. She was talking to him, and I just happened to notice. And I ended up talking to her instead of talking to him, although I've talked to him before. There's another right there.
That's cool.
I actually saw him twice that day. So that was like earlier in the day right there. And then when I had that thing signed, that was a little later on right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a Schecter. Right there.
Yeah, I didn't know he was playing Schecter now.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I think I took it. Oh yeah, here it is. This is actually his signature bass right here.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And that's actually his family sitting. That's his wife and his daughter sitting there.
Okay.
His whole family was sitting there with him.
That's cool. How awesome is that, man? That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I've got this.
You got you a little Nestle Crunch fun size.
Yeah, very exciting. It's the Johnny Beane show. Oh no, Joe's back. I'm sorry.
Oh, my bad. I'll put it back. Yeah, man, had to break out my Stripe series real quick, just for a moment. What did I do with my pick? Oh yeah. People have asked me if I'm gonna get the 5150, and I said, nah, I'm just gonna stick with this one.
Did you get one of these when you got that guitar? Did you get one of these with it?
Yes, it's that stuff's here somewhere.
I just happened to. I mailed out a guitar today. You know, I had to sell a guitar to help pay for my car's busted. Well, you know this, right? And
Yes.
I just happened to. I still had the box, the EVH box that it shipped with, and I just happened to look in the stuff, and this fell out of it. I'd never seen this.
Wow. How about that?
You know,
Man.
the Stripe Series manual. Very cool.
Yeah.
Michael sending pictures.
That's awesome. Rick Smith says his favorite is Fair Warning. That's awesome. And Michael Smith likes the pictures you're showing with Michael Anthony and stuff. Cool. Man.
Yeah. So what were you saying about the Stripe Series?
Oh, I was saying that I know you really love the 5150, and I've had people ask me if I was going to get a 5150, and I said, nah, this will be close as I get to it right here. You know, having this and
That
two
is
EVH Wolfgang specials.
that is a great guitar, man. I just played that guitar. I just played one of those a week ago.
Yeah, I saw your
Um,
Instagram picture. Yeah.
I just happened to I'll show it to you. Right here. Here it is. I just right there. Yeah. Yeah. Same amp. Or I mean, you know, the EVH amp, the same guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I saw that, and then
So
I
you
actually
did.
had
So
I
you did
actually
play it, right? So you did play it. I'm
yeah.
sorry, you played
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did. And and the guitar behind me, I had with me, but I didn't post anything about it yet. So nobody has seen this. You, here's this is a debut on your show right here. Nobody has seen these pictures.
All right, let's do it.
I actually had it with me. See, there it is with me
Mm-hmm.
right there. But it wasn't wired correctly, so it didn't sound right. And I actually filmed videos with it. You know, like how I do those videos. Hey, this is Johnny at Guitar Center, blah blah blah.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
here I
Okay.
am actually playing it, but I never posted them because they didn't sound right. They weren't right.
Oh,
So
that's before you got the pickup fixed.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
which just happened yesterday.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
love that guitar, man. That guitar is awesome, man.
or there it is. Yeah,
That is a gorgeous guitar. I love the top on that thing. I said, my God, when you debuted that thing last weekend, like I said, my wife and I were at the mountains. Yeah, look at that. Look
yeah.
at the top on that thing,
Nobody's
man.
seen any of these pictures. Although maybe you have. I think I sent you this.
That is just gorgeous, man. God.
It
How does it feel, Johnny, when you play it? Does it feel pretty good?
yeah, yeah. It does. It
Man,
does.
look at. I love the how the headstock doesn't have a name or nothing on it. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. What that's I did that on purpose. I had the headstock sanded to make
Oh,
it
okay.
so it matches the body. So because what I really dig about this guitar is that it almost looks like a prototype or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hang on, let me grab it. I'll show it to you. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, please do. That would be awesome. In the meantime, we'll talk about this guitar and its great quality. Available right after this message from JFG Coffee. We're reaching here, folks. We're reaching.
Uh, re- can you do? Speaking of reaching, can you do this reach?
No.
Can you do that? Is that a reach? I can't even see what I'm doing.
Good Lord. Let me present you so I can see
Is
what you're
Dave
doing. Let
here?
me see.
I think I just heard Nesdall.
Let me. Oh, come on, you crazy computer. Okay. All right. There we go. You should be presented now.
Can you do that reach?
What is that? 12, 15, and good God. Wait a minute. 12, 15. No, I'd have to cheat and do like two-hand tapping to reach that.
Or
And you
what
got your
about?
ring finger underneath the. Oh, good Lord. Oh, and I want to ask you about a lick that I hear you do a lot, and Eddie does a lot.
Can you hear this? Yeah, there's that, and then there's the, you know. Can you do that, Reach?
Apparently not. So what's that one lick that Eddie does a lot? I've heard you do it a couple of times, and I'm like, what is he doing? It's like he does like a I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not. Let me see. If he's like it's like it's a
that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that right there. Show me that lick, please.
You go to let's see, 12. What fret is the second dot? See, we don't even know what we're doing. We just play.
What the 17th? You talking about?
Yeah,
the double
17.
dotted is a 12. Okay, 17.
Yeah, go to 17.
Mm-hmm.
Click up. Click up.
Click up.
Here we are. See, we play Guitar Hero. we play plastic guitars. You want to click up. You want to bend up a full step.
So you're on the B string, right? You're on the B string, right?
Actually, that's a step and a half. Wouldn't that be a step and a half? Yeah, B string, 17th fret.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So you do like a step and then a step and a half. Okay, I got you.
And then a hammer on, third string, 15. Wait, where am I? Yeah, 15. No. 14.
Oh yeah,
14, 17.
And yeah. Okay.
I actually did a lesson on this.
Cool.
I actually did a look in my Eddie Van Halen guitar lesson playlist, and I actually did a lesson on this a few years ago or whatever. But because somebody asked me how to do this. Yeah,
okay, that's
you hear
awesome.
That's a pretty standard lick that he plays quite a bit, and it's cool. I love it.
Oh, my wife's in the chat. I thought she was asleep. She says she loves Guitar Hero. That's about the only guitar she can play.
Yeah,
that's awesome, Johnny. Thanks for showing me that, man. I've always wondered what because that lick is so quick. It's real fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, whoa, what's he doing? And I've heard you do it a couple of times, and I said, man, what is he doing right there? So, yeah, I just want to hear what it sounds like amplified for one quick second. I don't know how this is going to sound. Probably sound like crap, but let's see. Let's see what it sounds like. Can y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Does it sound gargly?
No, it's fine.
So you go like that right there, right?
Almost.
Almost.
It's like this. So you bend up, and then back down, and then up. There you go.
Thank you. I was about to say, man, good Lord. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, he plays it different ways. I mean, that's the general. That's generally what it's like. But you'll hear that a lot in a lot of different guitar solos. Different.
Yeah.
When he jams.
A whole lot.
When he jams a
lot. Yeah, I hear it a whole lot, man. So now I just learned me a little lick.
You hear it in a lot of songs. A lot of songs.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
But yeah, so there's my guitar for those of you guys. I haven't officially showed this off yet either, you know?
Well,
I
feel
mean, but
free to do it here, my friend, because that is a beautiful
but
guitar.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. It looks cool. It sounds cool. It feels cool.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
cool.
gorgeous, man. It's cool, dude. It's a gorgeous guitar.
And I really dig it. Just the one pickup. I know Nesdal hates it. He can't stand it. Watch if you didn't see tonight's video, watch tonight's video or listen to it.
Right.
At
Yeah,
least
it was
listen to
kind of in and out.
listen to the first 10 or 15 minutes of the video tonight and you'll hear our discussion about this. And I think for now, I think it's great. I have no problem with it.
Hey, man, it's your guitar. Whatever suits you is what works. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep it that way, keep it that way. It's up to you, man. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, yeah. Johnny asked Rick and Mike the same thing. If they were brothers, asked them the same thing.
Are they?
Look, Johnny, here's my Nuno guitar my wife got me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Oh,
This is
cool.
a 2014 model. It's the lower end, but still, I love the upside down headstock. Washburn.
Oh no!
It's
Who's calling me?
Somebody's calling you.
Can you hear that? Wait a minute.
Uh-oh. I don't know, buddy.
Yeah,
no idea.
It rings in here, so I hear it in here. I think it was a regular phone call. It was I recognize the in the chat room. It was one of you. It was somebody watching this.
Uh-oh.
I recognize the
My wife says, was it Nesdal?
No.
And she told me the critter's back outside. I need to go and take care of it. I don't think this is a good time to open fire out there, dear. It's almost 2 a.m.
It was Michael Smith. Yeah, I recognized it. I recognized the not the number, but every time somebody calls, on an iPhone, it says where they are. It says the town or the area or whatever, and I recognize that. It was.
He said his battery died. Oh, okay. Wow. He says he's changing the battery. He's gonna call. He's gonna call you. So Johnny, when you go play another live show, are you want to take that guitar with you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was telling Nesdal that this could be a main guitar for me. I think
it would for me. It definitely would for me if I had it.
I'll definitely play this, neck pickup or not. I'll play this.
Dude, that guitar is so gorgeous, man. And that guitar was made from parts that people donated, or is that right?
Well, half. I actually have two. It's the other guitar, the one that nobody has seen yet. I don't know if you've even seen. There's another guitar that really is the parts guitar. This guitar, this neck I already had. I already had this. The pickup I already had. Everything in here I already had. Actually, a friend of mine did give me this body. But it's the other guitar that will have the Floyd Rose, where it'll have the neck that Rob gave me. It'll have a bridge. that somebody else gave me. It'll have pickups that somebody else gave me. So the other guitar will really be the parts guitar from parts that people have given me over the past actually over the past couple of years actually. So this is sort of. I mean,
Man.
I had everything except the body. The body was a gift. Everything else I had. You know, I had this
Yeah.
neck. I had this neck on the stealth body. That's
Right.
basically what this is. This was, if you guys remember the stealth body and the neck, and then the headstock was Cherry Burst, and it had the logo, said Wolfgang, all that stuff.
Oh, was that same neck?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It was always sitting on the couch when you'd come on with your show. That's that neck. Okay.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's another one. That's the one Rob gave me.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Rob
Okay.
gave me the Mexico neck. That's the Sunburst. I'm
Okay,
looking at it.
okay.
I see it. It's right there. It's a Sunburst Mexico neck. This is a Chinese neck with the stainless steel frets. So this is a Chinese neck and a Japanese body is what this is.
Wow, that's cool.
Whereas the other guitar will be a Mexico neck and a Japanese body with a Floyd Rose. You know, this is just the regular you know.
Yeah, stop tail piece. Yeah, that's yeah, but still, man, that's you need to put some more pictures of that pretty thing on Instagram and stuff, man. That is in some, you know what I mean? This show that thing off, man. It's nice, very nice.
Yeah. Officially, it's still not totally done because there's no pickup in the neck, but yeah.
Well, just put a dummy one in there, like what Eddie did, if you want to. Just don't wire it up. If that's what you want to do. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, no. I do want the neck pickup because it gives you more options. I do want it. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it gives you more.
I haven't had time to do it.
Oh, okay.
You know, soon.
Yeah. That's cool though, man. I mean, wow. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost 2:00.
Yeah, it's 1:45 here, man. It's getting late. So, are you good, Johnny, or you want to keep going?
Oh no, I'm good, man.
Okay.
Good. It's still kind of early here, sort of, but yeah, I do have some other stuff I gotta.
Yeah, no problem, man. I just want to say thank you for jumping on here with me and chit chatting a little bit. I really appreciate your time, and next time I send you an invite, I'll go through the messenger. I apologize for the for the confusion. That was my fault. Apologize about that, man.
Yeah. Joe, he sent me an invite, and I'm not used to jumping. I'm used to hosting these things. I'm not used to jumping into them, so I don't have the app. I mean, open or any of that stuff, you know. So when he sent me the invite, I didn't get anything until he actually says, you know, he messaged me half an hour later, and he's like, "Are you ready yet?" I'm like, "What? I told you I was ready half an hour ago." And he's like, "Oh, I sent you the thing," and I'm like, "I never got it." And then I actually had to go to Hangouts within Google and happened to see that he was sitting there. I mean, I saw that it said Joe was there, you know, and
wow.
I jump in, and he's just like, he's jamming on the guitar, like barely awake, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah, that made me feel really. You know, I was like, oh man, I didn't know Johnny sitting there waiting the whole time. I'm sitting here waiting, and I was like, is Johnny still eating? I mean, my goodness, I didn't know.
No,
and Johnny's like, I didn't get an invite.
I've been done for a long time.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But yeah. Next time, make sure at least tell me on Messenger that.
Well, I'll send it through Messenger like I used to do. I'll go ahead and do that because you'll get it. So that was my bad, man. I apologize. So
yeah,
we'll get it. So thank you everybody for jumping in here. We got Cheryl Wentz, my beautiful wife. We got Rick Smith, Michael Smith, Mike Morrison is in the house. Who else we got here? I want to say that's probably about it. I believe we got Mike as himself. Told us to plug those guitars in and play them. Wow.
Jaden
Let's
James was
see.
in here. The
Jaden
Vigilant was in here.
James. Yes, the Vigilant. Thank you very much, Johnny. Appreciate that. Yeah, there we go. I'm scrolling up. I don't want to, I don't want to leave nobody out because I wouldn't want to be rude like that to somebody. Yeah, I believe that's it. That's what it looks like. Yep, that's it. So thank you everybody for jumping on. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Had a good time, Johnny. Thank you again. And I love that guitar, man. The guitar is gorgeous, man. Beautiful guitar.
Thanks.
And
Yeah.
good night, Mike Morrison. Good night, Michael Smith. Everybody.
I'm very excited. Very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to the next one as well.
Absolutely.
Because I've never really had, an EVH. I mean, here, we talk about the EVH guitars nonstop all the time, and I've never really had one. I mean, sort of, but I've yet to have one with. Good night, Cheryl. Good night, Mike Smith. Good night, Vigilant. Good night,
Vigilant. Yes,
everybody. I never had one with the tremolo. I had one like this. Whatever, past couple years. But I'm very excited to have the tremolo version, and it's gonna be a great guitar.
Absolutely, man. It sure will, man. And thank you for showing me that lick, man. That's cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I actually did a lesson video on that a few years ago. So if you actually look in my Eddie Van Halen guitar lesson playlist on my channel, which is just my name, Johnny Beane, there's a lesson for that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I've heard you. Like I said, I've heard you do it quite a few times, and I said, "There's that lick." And so yeah, now I know it. There you go. Thanks very much, man. Appreciate it, Johnny. Thank you everybody for watching. And I guess we'll get ready to call it a night. It's about 10 minutes to 2 Eastern Standard Time here in South Carolina. Thank you everybody for watching. Johnny, take care, everybody. God bless. Be sure and check Johnny out on his channel. If this is your first time watching, my name's Joe. This is my channel. I like to do hangouts, guitar-related videos, daily vlogs, all that fun stuff. Check out Johnny on his channel, Johnny Beane. He's all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. At your local record stores and everywhere. Just look for Johnny Beane, Johnny Beane Group, whatever. He's famous. And as for me, I'm just a truck driver. So, all right. Take care, everybody. Be good.
Good night, everybody.
Take care. See you, Johnny. See you, everybody.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.